Dr. Jha, it's interesting. We see it around where we live. People are they're just exhausted by being locked up. We live in a community that's behaved very responsibly for much of the time. But now on Friday and Saturday nights, you go out and it looks like 2019. Too many people are just jammed together, no masks. It's like they've had enough. Can you explain why now would be such a terrible time to do that, given the fact that this variant that we have from the UK is spreading like wildfire, especially in the state of Florida?
Yeah, so good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Look, we're so close. We're so close to a point where everybody can get vaccinated. I think sometime in April, but certainly by May, there will be more vaccines than people in the U.S. will have probably plenty of vaccines. And that means that we're going to be able to put this thing largely behind us. And this is not the time, unfortunately, with this very, very contagious variant spreading, this is not the time to get sick. Not that it was ever the time to get sick, but when we're this close to the finish line, I think it's particularly important for people to hold on. We're not saying hold on forever. It's really the next couple of months, and it's really because of this variant that things are so concerning right now.
Dr. Jha, good morning. It's Casey Hunt. We mentioned briefly the AstraZeneca-Oxford vaccine and the concerns about whether it's as effective. I was just wondering if you could dig a little bit deeper into the science to help us understand what the concern is there and to tell us a little bit about what worries you in terms of trying to adapt vaccines to hit these new variants if, in fact, they end up not working.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about the coronavirus, it's got these little spikes. Those are the crown things that we call it, why it's called the coronavirus. That's the spike protein. And the spike protein is what we target using our vaccines. And it's really effective. And the vaccines have so far been terrific. The problem with the South Africa variant is that it has acquired mutations in that spike protein that make it a little bit less susceptible to our vaccines. Now, how much less susceptible, how big a deal is this? It does look like, it's all preliminary, that the AstraZeneca vaccine may not end up being all that effective against this. I'm still pretty confident that the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, are going to be pretty effective against this variant. And look, it may end up being that these vaccines don't prevent infection at 95%. That's the number we've been hearing. But they may still do a terrific job of preventing hospitalizations and deaths. That would be huge news. And we can update these vaccines. It's going to take a while. It's all about time. It takes about 6 weeks to update the vaccine, but then you got to test it, you got to produce it. So it'll be several months before we have a really high quality vaccine against the South Africa variant. But I remain optimistic that that's also in our toolbox, and we should be working on developing those alternative vaccines now.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.